Hello everyone, welcome to Tracy Aviary on this beautiful overcast day. I'm very excited to be here with you all. My name is Kylie. I'm an educator here at Tracy Aviary, and I'm going to take you around the aviary for an exclusive look at the amazing conservation stories of three of my favorite birds here. As we go, I'll show you a close-up view of the bird and talk to you about the reasons why they may have been endangered in the past and why their species are doing well now. So I hope you're ready for some good news today. Let's go ahead and visit our first bird. Welcome everyone to our newest exhibit here at Tracy Aviary, Eagle Ridge. Right now we're looking at our two golden eagles resting far towards the back of their exhibit. And in a minute I'll show you our bald eagle. Eagles are an amazing kind of bird. We are lucky enough to see both golden eagles and bald eagles around Salt Lake City and throughout Utah. They are very similar to one another in some aspects and very different in others as species. For example, golden eagles will eat a lot of small to medium-sized mammals. They're also able to eat carrion and catch fish, but they do love their hunting. Bald eagles are a little different. They love fish, and that plays into their conservation story that I'm going to tell you in a minute. But I wanted to show you some bio facts that will really tell us more about how amazing these birds are. For example, here is a skull reproduction from an eagle. You'll notice that giant hook on their beaks. They have a ridge above their eyes that helps block the light while they're hunting. I also have a reproduction of their foot, so you can see how large their feet and talons actually are. This structure of their foot with one toe facing backwards and three toes facing forwards is really helpful. It makes them like a claw machine, so it's easier to catch their prey. And here's our beautiful bald eagle resting at the back of its exhibit. Bald eagles were in big trouble in the 1970s. Not only were they facing habitat destruction and illegal shooting, but there was a mystery affecting their reproduction. And every time a bald eagle would sit on its nest and incubate its eggs, the eggshells would just shatter. They were not as strong as normal eggshells should have been. And it turns out the culprit for this was DDT. And DDT was a pesticide used in the 1940s through the 1960s that was really effective against mosquitoes and was hailed as the pesticide. It was super popular. But the pesticide washed into our water and it was ingested by fish. And bald eagles, the main part of their diet is fish. And so they would eat the fish that had eaten the DDT, and that is the reason why they had DDT in their systems, and it was affecting the way that calcium was used in the production of their eggs in their reproductive tracts. So these beautiful birds were affected by something called bioaccumulation. And in 1972, Rachel Carson's book Silent Spring made this a well-known fact throughout the United States, and DDT was banned. And it was the start of conserving eagle populations. And in 1978, they were listed on the Endangered Species Act, and now they are doing very well in the wild. They were removed from the endangered species list in 2007. They're still protected by several different laws, but we are so excited to have this bald eagle here at Tracy Aviary. Now you'll notice that the fence that I'm standing in front of is very short, and you might wonder why we wouldn't have this bald eagle in an enclosure with maybe a top on it. What if it flies away? And the eagles that we have here at Tracy Aviary, they were rescued from the wild. They had partial or full wing amputations, and so they wouldn't have survived in the wild because they can never fly again. So having them here at Tracy Aviary makes them not only amazing ambassadors for their species, but gives them a forever home where they can have the healthiest life possible for the rest of their natural life. Hi everyone, welcome to your second stop on our conservation tour. I'm here with a southern ground hornbill who flew down from his perch to greet me when I walked over here. Southern ground hornbills can be found in South Africa, and they have many adaptations to help them live in the savanna habitats found there. For example, they have runner's feet. They'll spend most of their time on the ground. They have huge eyelashes that help protect their eyes from sandstorms. They have these very strong black feathers that hold up to the wear and tear of a sandy environment. And they have these huge red pouches on their throat that help them to call to each other. As families, they will keep a large range, and every so often they will patrol the edges of their range and call to each other as an all clear. So why am I talking about southern ground hornbills on a conservation tour? Well, they have a really special conservation story. Some indigenous tribes in their native habitats believe that they are good luck and bringers of rain. And other villages believe just the opposite, that they are harbingers of ill will and bad luck. And so these differing opinions have taken their toll on their numbers, but they're also facing habitat destruction as people urbanize their areas. So scientists obviously had to give them a hand. So the conservation work that's being done in South Africa right now is working to provide more nesting habitat for southern ground hornbills. Scientists and researchers will also take a second egg if nesting parents have nested with 2 eggs. They'll leave one for the parents to rear, and they'll take the other one and rear it by hand to ensure its survival. And all of this work is helping to bring southern ground hornbills from the brink of extinction. Tracy Aviary's southern ground hornbills are part of a population management plan by the AZA, Association of Zoos and Aquariums, so that conservation organizations like Tracy Aviary and other zoos can help with population conservation efforts, even though we're in Utah, very far away from South Africa. For our final stop on our conservation tour, welcome to my favorite place in the whole aviary. We are in the middle of the Kennecott Wetland immersion experience, and we are witnessing something very special. This American Avocet that you can see on your screen is nesting right now. And off to the side, its mate is standing watch, making sure that no one comes too close to the nest. I think American Avocets are the most perfect bird in all of Utah. And I actually have a plaster-filled egg from one of their past clutches that was not fertilized. So here you can see what their eggs would look like. Their beautiful camouflage is perfect for wetlands like the ones found around the Great Salt Lake, where we have many, many American Avocets. They will stand in mixed flocks with black-necked stilts in the shallows, and they'll use their very unique up-curved beaks to search the shallow water for invertebrates like brine shrimp. And if they did not have wetlands like the ones around Great Salt Lake, they could not survive. But as we know, the wetlands around the Great Salt Lake are in trouble. They are being used for purposes that are not conducive to these beautiful birds. And so for our last stop on our tour, I want to challenge you to think of ways that you can help the Great Salt Lake wetlands and help beautiful birds like this American Avocet. They only use those wetlands once a year for half of the year when they're breeding. They will migrate down to Mexico for the rest of the year for their winter season, but if they didn't have these wetlands, there would be no place to stop and reproduce. So, some things that I'd like you to think about are how you are using water. Especially now that we're home all the time, we can really think about the ways that we are using water in our homes. Maybe you challenge yourself to only take a 5-minute shower. Or maybe you make sure to shut off the water while you are brushing your teeth so it's not just going down the drain. You might also visit a wetland as long as you stay safe and keep within social distancing parameters. If there is a wetland in your county that you haven't been to, then please go out and find it. Learn more about the places that are so important to birds like these American avocets. So that's all the time I have today. Thank you so much for being with us and supporting us through this closure. We'll see you soon at Tracy Aviary. Stay safe.